The Ark of the Covenant is one of the most revered and mysterious artifacts of ancient history. Described in the Bible as a sacred chest, it was built under the direct command of God. Its purpose? To hold the stone tablets of the Ten Commandments, along with other sacred items like Aaron's rod and a pot of manna. According to the book of Exodus, God gave precise instructions on how it was to be crafted, down to the smallest detail. The ark was not just any religious object. It represented a direct link between the divine and the people of Israel. Throughout the time of the Israelites, the ark was central to their worship and sense of identity. It was placed in the Holy of Holies, the innermost sanctum of the temple in Jerusalem, accessible only to the high priest once a year. Adorned with 2 cherubim on its cover, the ark wasn't an object of worship, but rather a symbol of God's presence among his people. In its presence they felt the holiness and awe of being near the divine. Yet, despite its central role, the ark vanished. During the Babylonian invasion, the Temple of Jerusalem was ransacked and treasures were taken. But the ark was conspicuously absent from the records of captured items. Since that time, the ark's whereabouts have been lost to history, shrouded in a mystery that has endured for millennia. Some say it was hidden for safekeeping, others that it was taken far away, perhaps even out of Israel. Today, the ark's location remains one of the world's greatest unsolved mysteries, sparking centuries of fascination, debate, and countless theories. The design of the Ark of the Covenant is described in remarkable detail in the book of Exodus. It was constructed from acacia wood and overlaid with pure gold, measuring about 2.5 cubits long, 1.5 cubits wide, and 1.5 cubits high. This sacred chest was fitted with golden rings and poles, which allowed the priests to carry it without directly touching it. This wasn't just a practical feature. It symbolized the ark's holiness, marking it as a divine artifact that human hands should not directly touch. One of the most striking aspects of the ark was the mercy seat, a solid gold cover adorned with 2 golden cherubim facing each other. Their wings were spread out over the mercy seat, creating a sacred space where God's presence was believed to dwell. Unlike other cultures that might create idols for worship, the cherubim on the ark were not there to be worshipped. Instead, they represented a divine meeting place, a direct point of communication between God and his people. This was the place where, according to the scriptures, God would speak to Moses, sharing guidance and commands for the Israelites. The ark was housed within the Holy of Holies, the most sacred part of the tabernacle and later the temple. This area was so holy that only the high priest could enter, and only once a year on Yom Kippur, the Day of Atonement. This annual ritual underscored the ark's role as a symbol of God's forgiveness and covenant with his people. To the Israelites, it wasn't just a physical object but a profound representation of God's presence, love, and laws. The design and placement of the ark reflected its unique role. It wasn't meant to be an object of worship itself, but rather a focal point for the people's connection to God. This sacred chest, with its detailed craftsmanship and symbolism, was the heart of Israel's religious life, representing both their covenant with God and his guidance in their journey. The disappearance of the Ark of the Covenant is as much a mystery as its origin. In the year 586 BCE, the Babylonian Empire, led by King Nebuchadnezzar, laid siege to Jerusalem. After breaching the city walls, they looted the temple, the very heart of Jewish worship and identity. Among the treasures taken were golden utensils, sacred vessels, and other priceless artifacts. Yet, one item was conspicuously missing from the lists of plundered goods: the Ark of the Covenant. This absence is puzzling, especially given the Ark's immense importance. The Babylonian conquerors were meticulous in cataloging the wealth and treasures they seized from the temple, but the Ark is never mentioned. To this day, historians and archaeologists remain uncertain as to why this was the case. Some believe the Ark may have been hidden away by the temple priests in the days leading up to the siege, concealed to protect it from falling into enemy hands. The timing of the Ark's disappearance coincides with this chaotic and destructive period in Jerusalem's history. With the temple destroyed and the people of Judah carried off into exile, any hope of locating the Ark vanished with it. Records from this period are scarce, leaving only silence where there should be answers. Over time, this silence gave rise to countless theories and legends, each attempting to explain what happened to the Ark. Did the priests manage to hide it somewhere within the city's walls, or was it transported far away before the siege began? This question has lingered for centuries, fueling speculation and inspiring searches across the world. The absence of the Ark from the Babylonian records remains one of history's most tantalizing enigmas, leaving us with only fragments of the past and endless curiosity about what may have happened to this sacred artifact. One of the most compelling theories about the location of the Ark of the Covenant leads us to Ethiopia. According to Ethiopian tradition, the Ark resides in a small church in the town of Aksum, protected by the Ethiopian Orthodox Church. This claim is rooted in a story that dates back to the time of King Solomon and the Queen of Sheba. Legend holds that the Queen of Sheba, who ruled over an ancient kingdom believed to be located in modern-day Ethiopia, visited King Solomon in Jerusalem. During this visit, the two formed a bond, and their union resulted in the birth of a son named Menelik. As the story goes, when Menelik came of age, he traveled to Jerusalem to meet his father. He stayed for a time, learning from Solomon's wisdom and gaining knowledge of the Hebrew faith. Before returning to Ethiopia, Menelik was allegedly given a replica of the Ark by his father. However, Ethiopian tradition tells a different story, one that claims Menelik took the original Ark back to Ethiopia, leaving a replica in Jerusalem. This version of events suggests that the Ark has been in Ethiopia ever since, kept under guard by the Ethiopian Orthodox Church. The church in Aksum, known as the Chapel of the Tablet, is said to house the Ark today. According to tradition, only one guardian monk is permitted to see the Ark, dedicating his life to its protection. This guardian lives in complete isolation, ensuring that no one else comes near the Arkansas. Over the centuries, this secrecy has only fueled curiosity and speculation. While the church officials claim to hold the genuine Ark, no one outside the clergy has ever been permitted to examine it, and no photographic evidence exists to confirm the claim. Despite the lack of verifiable proof, this Ethiopian tradition remains one of the most widely accepted theories regarding the Ark's location. The story of Menelik and the Ark is deeply embedded in Ethiopian culture and faith, seen as a symbol of God's covenant with the Ethiopian people. While skeptics may question the authenticity of this claim, the Ethiopian Orthodox Church maintains that the Ark resides within their chapel, safe from the eyes of the world. Another intriguing theory about the location of the Ark of the Covenant points to the ancient region of Jordan. This theory is based on accounts found in the second book of Maccabees, a historical and religious text that describes the actions of the prophet Jeremiah in the years leading up to the Babylonian siege of Jerusalem. According to this account, Jeremiah foresaw the imminent destruction of the temple and took action to protect the most sacred artifacts of Israel, including the Ark. The text of Maccabees claims that Jeremiah took the Ark, along with other sacred objects, and hid them in a cave on or near Mount Nebo. Mount Nebo holds a special place in biblical history as the location where Moses was said to have seen the promised land before his death. It is fitting then that this holy mountain might also serve as a hiding place for the Ark, kept safe in the wilderness, away from foreign invaders and those who might misuse its power. Jeremiah's choice to hide the Ark in such a location reflects his commitment to safeguarding the sacred bond between God and his people, ensuring that it would not fall into the hands of those who did not revere it. This theory has drawn considerable interest over the years, and many have ventured to Mount Nebo, searching for evidence of the Arkansas. However, the precise location of the cave remains a mystery, and extensive excavations in the area have yielded no conclusive findings. Some researchers believe the Ark may be concealed within a network of undiscovered caves or buried under layers of earth and rock. The lack of accessible documentation from that period only adds to the uncertainty surrounding this location, leaving archaeologists and explorers to rely on ancient texts and speculation as they pursue the search. Jeremiah's actions in hiding the Ark are seen by some as a profound act of faith and duty. By removing the Ark from Jerusalem, he preserved its sanctity, removing it from the reach of those who would later invade the temple. The possibility that the Ark might still lie in a hidden cave on Mount Nebo continues to captivate the imagination, representing a link to the past that remains tantalizingly close yet still out of reach. The notion that the Ark could still rest on this sacred mountain adds an air of solemn mystery to the story, keeping the search alive among those who seek to uncover one of history's greatest secrets. A third theory about the Ark of the Covenant's location brings us back to Jerusalem, specifically to the Temple Mount. This theory suggests that the Ark was hidden in a secret chamber beneath the temple itself, concealed within a network of tunnels and storage areas deep below ground. According to this belief, before the Babylonian invasion, the priests of the temple may have taken precautionary measures to protect the Ark from being captured by foreign forces. Knowing the Ark's significance as the most sacred symbol of Israel's faith, they could have decided that hiding it was the best way to safeguard it from looters and invaders. The Temple Mount has long been known to contain a series of subterranean passages and chambers. In recent centuries, limited exploration has revealed hollow spaces under the mount, leading some researchers to believe that these may include storage areas where the Ark could be concealed. While this idea is supported by ancient writings and oral traditions, excavations on the Temple Mount are highly restricted due to religious and political sensitivities. This makes a thorough investigation nearly impossible, as the area holds immense significance to both Jewish and Muslim communities, making it one of the most contested religious sites in the world. Jewish writings from the Talmud and other historical records mention the existence of chambers under the temple, potentially used as storage for sacred objects during times of crisis. These texts describe how priests would have been aware of these hidden spaces and may have even been instructed in times of danger to move the ark and other holy objects to safety within the temple's underground areas. Although there is no definitive proof that the ark was stored here, the historical accounts add weight to the idea that the priests would have had a plan in place to protect their most precious relic. Throughout history, there have been attempts to search for the ark within these subterranean areas. During the Crusades, European knights known as the Templars explored beneath the Temple Mount in search of religious artifacts, possibly including the ark itself. Though they never found it, their explorations inspired legends of hidden treasures and contributed to the enduring mystique surrounding the Temple Mount and its hidden chambers. Modern archaeologists too have expressed interest in exploring these areas further, but current restrictions prevent any significant excavation or research from being conducted. The notion that the ark could be hidden beneath the Temple Mount resonates deeply with many who view it as the natural resting place for such a holy object. If the ark remains within the temple's foundations, it would mean that it has stayed close to its original home, a symbol of Israel's ancient connection to God. For those who believe in this theory, the ark's presence beneath the Temple Mount is not just a historical curiosity but a profound reminder of Jerusalem's role as a spiritual center. Despite the obstacles to further exploration, this theory continues to capture the imaginations of believers, archaeologists, and historians. The idea that the ark may rest undisturbed beneath one of the most sacred sites in the world speaks to the mystery and reverence that still surrounds this ancient artifact. For now, the ark's possible location beneath the Temple Mount remains hidden, a mystery buried in the layers of history, protected by the sacredness of the site itself. The Ark of the Covenant holds not only historical and religious significance but also profound symbolic meaning within prophetic and apocalyptic literature. In the Bible, the Ark is depicted as more than a sacred artifact. It represents the very presence of God among His people. This symbolism reaches beyond its physical form, connecting to themes of divine protection, justice, and the fulfillment of God's promises. Throughout the Scriptures, the Ark serves as a reminder of God's covenant with Israel and an emblem of His power and glory. One of the most intriguing references to the Ark appears in the Book of Revelation, an apocalyptic text rich with symbolism and visions. In Revelation, the Ark is seen in the heavenly temple, a vision interpreted by many scholars as a powerful symbol rather than a literal reference. This heavenly Ark is presented at a climactic moment, revealing God's commitment to His covenant with humanity. For some, this imagery reflects the spiritual essence of the Ark, suggesting that its true form exists beyond the earthly realm, embodying the eternal bond between God and His people. The vision of the Ark in Revelation has led many to see it as a divine symbol of hope and restoration. Rather than focusing on its physical location, the text invites readers to consider the Ark as a representation of God's promise to dwell among His people. This view aligns with prophetic literature throughout the Bible, where the Ark is often associated with God's power, guidance, and protection. From the Israelites' journey in the wilderness to their battles and victories, the Ark's presence was seen as a source of strength and assurance. In these narratives, the Ark is not just a container of sacred objects but a physical manifestation of divine support. Throughout the Old Testament, the Ark appears in various contexts, symbolizing different aspects of God's relationship with Israel. When the Israelites carried the Ark into battle, it symbolized God's protection and guidance. In the temple, it represented a place of atonement and forgiveness, reminding the people of God's willingness to forgive and restore. This multifaceted symbolism highlights the Ark's role as more than an artifact. It is a profound symbol of faith, trust, and reverence. The Ark's portrayal in apocalyptic literature adds a new dimension to its symbolism. Seen through the lens of prophecy, the Ark embodies the promise of redemption and the ultimate fulfillment of God's plan. For believers, the Ark's presence in Revelation suggests that God's covenant is not bound to a physical location but exists eternally, transcending time and space. This interpretation has resonated throughout history, inspiring readers to see the Ark as an emblem of hope that endures beyond the confines of the physical world. In many ways, the Ark's symbolic role in prophetic and apocalyptic literature captures the essence of its significance. It reminds believers of the connection between the divine and human realms, a bond that goes beyond the material and into the spiritual. The Ark's journey, both physical and symbolic, reflects the ongoing journey of faith, where God's presence and promises remain steadfast. Whether hidden in a physical location or envisioned in the heavens, The Ark continues to serve as a timeless symbol of God's enduring commitment to his people. The Ark of the Covenant remains one of the most fascinating mysteries of the ancient world. With its disappearance, questions about its fate have endured for centuries, inspiring countless theories, searches, and stories. Each theory, from the idea that it was hidden under the Temple Mount to the belief that it rests in Ethiopia or within the caves near Mount Nebo, represents a thread in the fabric of this enduring mystery. While each theory offers possible answers, none has provided definitive proof, keeping the Ark shrouded in speculation. Beyond the question of its physical location, the Ark's legacy lives on through its profound symbolism. It represents the covenant between God and his people, a reminder of divine presence, guidance, and promises. Throughout history, the Ark has stood as a testament to faith, embodying the hope of spiritual connection and the possibility of renewal. For the people of Israel and for those who seek answers today, the Ark is not merely a lost relic but a symbol of enduring faith and divine promise. For centuries, the Ark has held a place in the hearts and minds of believers, scholars, and adventurers alike. Its story invites us to reflect on the themes of faith, commitment, and the human desire to connect with something greater. Whether hidden in a remote location lost to time, or preserved in the heavenly realm as some believe, the Ark's impact transcends its physical form. It continues to serve as a beacon of hope, urging believers to seek unity with the divine. Ultimately, the Ark of the Covenant reminds us of the mystery that lies at the heart of faith itself. Some answers may remain hidden, and some stories may never be fully told, but the pursuit of these mysteries deepens our understanding and enriches our journey. As we ponder the fate of the Ark, we are invited to consider our own connection to the divine, inspired by the legacy of a sacred artifact that has captivated humanity for generations. Thank you for joining us in exploring the enduring mystery of the Ark of the Covenant. If you enjoyed this journey into one of history's greatest enigmas, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts. Where do you think the Ark might be? Let us know in the comments.